Spiritfarer is a game about life that shows us that the inevitability of death shouldn't define who we are. Spiritfarer is also my favorite game. Though its playtime is not near as long as others I have played, its runtime is significantly more impactful. The way it makes you feel is an art unto itself I've seen few forms of media emulate. In Spiritfarer, you are Stella, who has been tasked with taking over Charon's duty as the ferry person on the river Styx. You help spirits complete their last tasks before they pass through the Everdoor and become part of the Great Beyond. The game instills in you a creeping sense of dread as you take these friendly characters to their ultimate end. You come to know them and love them as they quickly populate your boat, then slowly leave. The game reveals to you that Stella was a caretaker when she was alive, and it begins to take on a new meaning. Maybe you aren't fulfilling these spirits' final tasks, but your own, seeing helping these people as your duty on Earth. I believe Spiritfarer's greatest quality is showing how human everyone can be. Each spirit feels different and brings their own beliefs and challenges to your boat. While they all don't speak to me, some will definitely speak to you. Gwen is the first spirit you meet on your journey, someone who in life was like an older sister to Stella. As a reflection of this, in the afterlife, she guides the players through the tutorial of Spiritfarer, and must be the first spirit left at the Everdoor. As you drop her off, she laments how she saw people as passive observers in others' lives, and acted as though they never truly connected. She leaves you with her first lighter as a memento, showing the connection she felt with Stella. Next, you meet Uncle Atul, Stella's enthusiastic uncle, who tries to share the simple joys of life with you. Uncle was a union leader in life, and tries his best to make everybody happy on the boat. He's easygoing, eating any meal you give him. However, he confides in you that he misses his family, and not seeing them is his least favorite part of the boat. You never get to drop Atul at the Everdoor. He disappears without telling you anything. I think Atul's disappearance is to show you that you can never be certain in life about what happens next. Waking up to find Atul missing stings, but you can't make him want to be a part of your life again. There's nothing else to do but move on to the next spirit. When you do, you'll meet the vegan naturalist Summer, Stella's aunt-in-law. Summer is plagued by battles with cancer, which she calls a dragon. She tries to guide Stella in the ways of meditation and being mindful of the world around her. When you take Summer to the Everdoor, she talks about how she tried to love the dragon, as it strangled life from her. She speaks about how we are all part of a greater whole, a stream of consciousness we're all specks within. You meet Alice next, a timid and homely woman. Alice was a housewife in life, and preferred not to bother others. Stella met her as a part of her end-of-life care nursing. I believe Alice is the most remembered of the spirits because of her story. She starts quiet and tries her best to get along by herself. As you spend more time with her, though, she opens up and tells you about her interests. When you feel like you know her, health complications start. First, she stops using the ladders on the boat. Then, she needs help to go anywhere. And lastly, she starts losing her memory. Alice truly shows the horrors of dementia. At the Everdoor, she continually refers to you as her daughter Annie, someone you never get to meet. Later, you meet Astrid, someone who's fairly complicated. After hiding Jewish children during World War II, Astrid devoted herself to others. Though she was still a bit selfish, she worked to make a more equal world. She has the fortune of meeting the love of her life, Giovanni. Unfortunately, his disloyalty was his most prominent quality. Astrid is interesting because her underlying loyalty to Giovanni and the ideal of community is contrasted with her love of gossip, constantly talking ill of the three sisters because they share with her the things she wishes to hear. The Everdoor beckons Astrid, and when you arrive, she laments that she waited so long to come, saying growing old has made her rotten on the inside and ugly on the outside. She wishes the world could have been a better place. Her true love, Giovanni, has a different story. While he agrees growing old is drab, he spent his life loving the beautiful world we live in. He was touched by the death of a fellow soldier and works each day to find joy he can relish in. He is a womanizer and connoisseur of fine dining, but confides in you that he tried his best to make others happy. Giovanni sees life as an exciting dance where you have to get everyone to join. When he is taken to the Everdoor, Giovanni speaks of the cracks in people and how they make brilliant lights shine through. He tells you his only regret is leaving Astrid. Gustave met Stella in Japan. He is an art curator who suffers from multiple sclerosis. This paralyzed his body and hampered his career. Gustave sees life in art and the meaning of art eternal. Objects made to preserve meaning in his eyes. Gustave doesn't flinch at the Everdoor because his life's work is done. He doesn't need more. He's found his place in the chaos. Bruce and Mickey join your boat around halfway through the game. They're brothers and a pair of criminals who love the luxuries of life. They give you a nickname, Scout, and make you a part of the team. They believe you should be true to yourself, even if that makes you an asshole. Or should I say, Bruce believes. As it unravels near the end, Mickey's been comatose this whole time. In an attempt to stay with his brother, Bruce has been acting like he's still with us. Something he only admits at the Everdoor, where he says life without his brother isn't really life at all. Beverly was Stella's next-door neighbor in life. She was to the point and sociable. She took pride in her memory, but on the boat you can watch as her Alzheimer's takes that away from her. She tells you many times you should construct a house for her that she is currently in front of. As someone who used to be good at memorization, I feel sorrow when I take Beverly through the Everdoor. She's barely able to remember the things she's trying to express. Stanley is a young kid. To me, there's not much to say about him. He likes the things young kids like, and he puts a smile on your face as a child would. He is smart, innocent, and taken too early by his disease. Some might say he is to show death can take anyone from you. But I disagree. I think he shows that all life has meaning. His limited understanding of why people do bad things can be seen as heartful optimism. His art is no less meaningful than Gustave's. At the Everdoor, he says it's okay to lose sometimes, as you lose him. Buck is an interesting one. He is the only character who is already an animal by the time you meet him. He loves to roleplay and refers to Stella as Captain. Buck is also the only character you can't take through the Everdoor. He says he's already passed through it, and he tries to keep you occupied after all the other spirits have left. Daria is a soft and gentle soul. You meet her after she's been abused by an orderly named Jackie. She is an artist that has had a particularly difficult life due to her synesthesia. She is also an example of how medical facilities can fail to support people in the ways they need it. Being diagnosed with catatonia by Jackie led to Overbrook keeping artistic supplies from her, but after Stella brings her those supplies, she recovers quickly, enough to move her to a more suitable facility. When Daria is taken to the Everdoor, she asks to not be pitied for her condition, but for it to be seen as a gift. Something I've heard from other neurodiverse people before, that they're not sick or ill or lesser than because of the condition they were born with. Elena receives a lot of hate. In life, she was a strict school teacher. Most don't like her because of the disgust she shows for those under her tutelage. At one point through your journey, she gives you rewards that turn out to be pieces from your former life. I got Stella's marriage ring and her coin collection. This moment sticks with me. As part of her quest, she tells you to give her one. I thought for a moment about my past relationships and my collection of magic cards, which both mean so much to me. I gave her the marriage ring, and she criticized me for believing I would receive a reward. This is the second time in the game I cried. I remembered thinking about how abjectly cruel Elena was. I hadn't even expected a reward for the task, but the way she berated me hurt me nonetheless. Elena treats the Everdor as a formality, and she does the least talking as you row your way there. Still silence, barely interrupted by her giving you permission to hug her. This is the only time in the game you get to hug Elena. Jackie is the last spirit I want to talk about, not only because he was the last one I sent through the Everdor, but also because his story weirdly resonates with me. As with Elena, many people don't like Jackie. Part of this is Jackie's before-mentioned abuse of Daria, and the many other residents at Overbrook Hospital that fell under his care. Jackie, in life, was an orderly, not by choice, but out of convenience. He needed a job, and Overbrook was so understaffed they'd take anybody. He dropped out of high school, coming from a family of abusive parents. I don't relate to Jackie because of these things, but because of the way he talks on the boat. He sets up a beehive for you and tries to help you take care of it, but you witness him cussing out the beehive when things don't go his way. Afterwards, he apologizes and says he doesn't know why this keeps happening. Things don't go like he expects, then he feels a surge of rage from within him. He later talks about how his abuse harmed others, and he can't excuse away his behavior. I think that's what really stuck with me. Jackie can never undo the harm that he's done, and he knows this. Jackie tries to work on himself and become a better person. He finds himself falling back into blaming his parents or others for their inadequacies. I think he perfectly encapsulates a person who is caught between others who have hurt them and the ones he has hurt, unsure where to go or how to atone for his wrongs, and unable to express how he has been hurt. Jackie assertively asks to be taken to the Everdor. To me, he felt like the only character who wanted to go. On the way there, he thanks you for taking care of him. In the end of Spiritfarer, Stella is taken through the Everdor. I've heard some say that the end of the game feels like a slog, where you complete every task and wait for the last spirit to realize it's time to go. I felt the opposite. I was hoping for more tasks to complete so that the game wouldn't end, clinging on to the last bits of life as so many do. Spiritfarer asks us many difficult questions. Stanley presents the question of what makes a bad person. Is it someone's intentions? If so, is Elena a bad person? She is unbelievably harsh to children for what she believes is the greater good. Is it someone's actions? If so, is Atul a bad person for abandoning Stella? We don't know why he did it or where he went. We only know the harm it caused. Is Jackie a bad person? He did irreparable harm, but after he leaves, you find multiple attempted notes of apology to Daria. He wanted to do the right thing, even if he never got to. His notes remind me of some of my own. People say Spiritfarer is about death because you watch all of its main characters die, but their deaths are not who they are. The substance of the game, the most of what you do with them, is talk to them while they're alive, learning about their lives and who they are. That's why I believe it's a game about life, and deciding the type of life you want to lead. Death is just the contrasting color to that life. I want to talk about the question Gustav asks. What is art, and why does it matter? To me, Spiritfarer is art. It shaped me and changed me in a way I wasn't expecting, and I found meaning in it, whether it was intended or not. This video is my art. I am no Da Vinci, Warhol, or Hemingway, just a person and their cats. But if someone, somewhere, can find meaning in the words I'm saying, I'm glad. All of my favorite presents have been art, because art comes from the soul and was not asked for. Gustav talks about the immortality of art, something that is becoming ever more present in the digital era, where in the future there will be millions of pieces of data dating back to before the birth of the oldest human. Right now we have photographs of things no one was alive to see. If in 2531 a person watches my video about a centuries-old game they never get to play, I would love it. And I hope you have a wonderful week.